Then you want.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the ABA section of Civil Rights and Social Justice's CRSJ 101 membership event, where we come to you to tell you a little bit about how to get involved in the section, about what we do, and ways that we can work together. My name is Paula Shapiro. I'm the director of the section, and I've been with it on and off for 20 years. I am joined by Alli Kielsgard, who is our associate director, Ruchika Sharma, who's our program specialist, Melissa Hodek, who is the managing editor of our award-winning Human Rights magazine, that is a quarterly magazine, and one of our longtime leaders and council members, Jerry Gardner. I am going to turn it over to Jerry Gardner as soon as the next slide is brought up. And okay. Here we go. Jerry, go ahead.
Great, thank you. Thanks. I'm Jerry Gardner. I'm I'm special counsel and former member of the council, and also in my day job, I'm the executive director of the Tribal Law and Policy Institute. And so here with the first slide, we're talking about just the section of civil rights and social justice, which was initially known as individual rights and responsibilities, was created in 1966 to provide leadership within the ABA and the legal profession in protecting and advancing human rights, civil liberties, and social justice. The leadership includes the section council and the executive committee, the 21 different substantive committees, the liaisons, the section projects, the operational and council committees. The executive committee is the current chair, which the current chair is Juan Thomas. Chair-elect would be the chair that would start in following the August meeting, and that'll be Robin Runji. And then Lacey Durham down the road, that each of the different ones will be chair in their own turn. The council or the section also has two section delegates, which are the delegates to the ABA House of Delegates. Those are the folks that move things forward for us, and both in the resolutions and like that we're moving forward, and in responding to the resolutions that other parts of the ABA have moved forward. And so they represent, Mark and Wendy represent us in all of those things. And there's also the immediate past chair and the budget chair. The crucial work of the section is the section's substantive committees. This is a list of the 21 different committees. And I would just encourage you to check through the section's website to find out more information about each of the committees. And in particular, I think it's really helpful to look and see the for each of the wonderful section staff has set up information on all of the policy positions with links to those that are relevant for each of the different committees. So if you're interested in any of the different committees, I'd really encourage you to look up the basic information about the committee, but also to take a look at the policy section, the policy charts that have been created for each of the different sections. And you can see over time, how much more expansive the different policies have become. I know certainly I was first really involved with the Native American Concerns Committee, and it's been incredible to see the huge range of different additional policies that have been developed over the years. And it makes the job of other things down the road with the policy, moving policy forward much easier, the more different policies the ABA has on individual sections. So certainly encourage you to check out things for the individual sections that you think might be interesting. And then, of course, the committee staff and others can help you provide more information on it.
Yeah, so the section committees are a really great way to get involved. If you have any questions about joining a committee, you can always reach out to me, or it's accessible from your My ABA profile under Manage Memberships. So if anyone has any questions on joining a committee or getting more involved through the committees, you can reach out to me directly.
Thanks, Alli. And then projects and initiatives. These are just some examples of the different projects and initiatives. The Perfecting Democracy, working on crucial issues of right to vote. The Economic Justice Summit was a summit that was held recently for some of the issues that are really crucial for the section on economic justice. It was held in March. The webinar, and I guess both the video and the PowerPoints and all the information on that is all available for free. Then there's also a chair chat, which is regular, where the section chair has regular interviews and meetings or chats with different folks on the full range of different kinds of topics and issues that come up for the section. Section sometimes has also had different books to focus on. The Civil Rights Civics Institute is a series of educational videos and questions and answers for students on a full range of civil rights related topics. So again, you can kind of get a sense of some of the different things that the section's involved with by checking out the Civil Rights Civics Institute. Other projects and initiatives include the Civil Rights Connection, the HIV/AIDS Impact Project, the Death Penalty Due Process Review, the Reproductive Rights Pro Bono Project, and overall is the Policy Implementation Initiative, which is the steps that we take to once policy has been developed, when issues arise, when different particular issues or challenges come up, then we can look to different ABA policy and pull it together to be able to have official statements on behalf of the ABA. And so the sections really worked very hard over the years to try and ensure that when policy is adopted by the ABA House of Delegates, that those policies are actually implemented, that the ABA takes steps. Certainly in the case of some of the things that I was early on involved in was in working with the Violence Against Women Act and the different reauthorizations of the act. And so the first step would be the idea of developing specific policy around the specific reauthorizations, and then the policy implementation initiative would be part of the process of then having the ABA craft letters and the like that would go out and make and other forms of advocacy to implement the policies that have been adopted. Programming. So each month there's a wide variety of different topical programs that the section provides, covering a wide range of different issues. And those issues can certainly they come up often through the different committees. So if you're involved in a committee, you can come up with different suggestions for different programs on issues of importance. And I would also encourage you to think about if you're working on different kinds of programming, that it doesn't necessarily have to be just the standard kind of webinar format, that we've also done work with having different, during Native American Heritage Month in November, we a number of different times had different plays that were put on the Sliver of a Full Moon, which tells the story of the adoption of the Violence Against Women Act reauthorization in 2013. And then there was a later one talking about VAWA 2022. So keep in mind that the programming can be a wide range of different things. Generally, the suggestions come up through the committees for those who are involved in the different committees. And there's it doesn't have to necessarily be a standard webinar format. There's a wide range of things that can be done, and the staff has been great at helping to pull those things together, even shepherding plays through. Human Rights Magazine. If you haven't seen Human Rights Magazine, I really encourage you to check it out. It comes out generally, I think, 4 times a year. And covers a wide range of different topics. There's usually a particular focus for each issue. And again, of course, the committees are heavily involved in putting those together. and so again, as with so many, virtually everything that the section does, the prior issues and like the current and prior issues of Human Rights Magazine are available for free for people to access and review. I would say the same is important to keep in mind from the prior slide with the webinars, that things like the plays that I referred to, you can access those and listen to those for free. And when anything more on the Human Rights Magazine?
Sure, I can speak about the magazine a little bit as well. Thank you for that great introduction to the magazine, Jerry. I would also just like to mention that the magazine is one of the leading member benefits. It's currently available in print and online. And we have a huge reach. You know, we put the magazine out on social media, and we tend to reach tens of thousands of people each issue. Our latest issue deals with economic issues and criminal justice. And some of our other recent past issues deal with voting, policing, immigration, and science. I work with a chair of the editorial board and 9 editorial board members to create the magazine. And there are many ways to get involved with the magazine. You're welcome to sit in on an editorial board meeting, become an editorial board member, or send me your ideas for articles or issue themes. We often collaborate with committees to work on their topics. So that's a great way to get involved too. If you join a committee, reach out to me and maybe we can collaborate on a full issue. So please reach out to me if you have any questions or ideas. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks.
And advocacy is one of the most important things that we do as a section. That once policy and the like has been developed, then there's various ways of moving that advocacy forward. That can be from the ABA writing letters to the ABA actively engaged in trying to pass legislation, and like it can be things like amicus briefs. So there's examples here on the slide that the section recently worked hard to ensure that the ABA filed amicus briefs in the Dobbs case, in U.S. v. Texas, also in a series of different cases that are listed here, but the one that I would know the most about is probably the Brackeen case, which is a case challenging the Indian Child Welfare Act that's currently before the court. And it was really great to have an ABA, a detailed, comprehensive, very helpful ABA brief, amicus brief that was submitted in that case, which is something that in the past hadn't happened very often for Indian law cases. So it's great to see when the section gets involved in these kinds of different cases. And certainly one of the things you can do to get involved is to help to organize things for amicus briefs. There are, certainly advocating for the passage of different federal laws. And I certainly think that the ABA letters that helped in many different Native issues, and like in particular that I was most involved in would be things to pass the tribal jurisdiction provisions in VAWA 2013, the Violence Against Women Act 2013, and most recently in expanding those provisions significantly in VAWA 2022 when the Violence Against Women Act was reauthorized. And in each of these instances, the ABA has written very strong letters based on first making sure that there's ABA policy, and then being able to pull that together and have the ABA formally send letters to Congress and elsewhere to advocate for specific legislation and specific issues. Other examples here too are things like, holding a different summit on the range of different issues, summit on economic justice most recently, and just also in submitting comments to rule changes. That's another crucial place where the ABA can help. And again, this is some of the great work, I think, of the section and of the ABA in general, that many other organizations, like from Indian law perspective, the Federal Bar Association has annual conferences, but the ABA, unlike Federal Bar and many other organizations, actually does take advocacy positions. And so when the ABA speaks on behalf of the members of the American Bar Association, it has a lot more impact in these things. And so I certainly encourage folks to get involved in that, to check out the policy charts to see what's current policy. And in many cases, we've been able to pull together letters based on existing policy, even if we didn't necessarily thought we had policy on that particular issue. Once you go back and search through the different charts and the different things, and ABA policy over some time, we often find that there is existing policy when an issue comes up that we can, promote, work with the ABA to promote those. And that the section on civil rights and social justice has been especially involved in ensuring advocacy. And leadership opportunities. So there's just many different things that you can do as a leader in the section and in the committees that you can help put together. You can help present or just help put together webinars, articles. Certainly you can organize and participate as a panelist or moderator through committees and either through the committees and or through projects and initiatives. You can do different things to support the mission of the section. As we talked about, the Human Rights Magazine is an opportunity to write and to help craft the different the focuses and the specific articles and like that go into the Human Rights Magazine. That you can work to advocate for the implementation of ABA policy on civil rights and social justice. And again, those are the policy provisions that have been enacted are accessible through each of the different topic areas of each of the different committees. And of course, one of the huge things to do also is to be involved in drafting resolutions, to come up with what are different resolutions that need to be enacted as different issues come up where the ABA hasn't yet taken a position on something, or it needs to be taken a step further as different issues or challenges develop. So these are all kinds of things that your active involvement in the section can entail. And here's a few testimonials from Rula, who's shifted from working in the Young Lawyers Division to the, as many of us do, age out of young lawyers. And she got very involved to talk about her involvement in the section and the benefits of that. And then Juan Thomas, here's also talking as it quotes from Juan Thomas, who's the current section chair. And just wanted to see if you could join us in any of the different ways that have been laid out here, and many more. And you can join the section by visiting AmericanBar.org groups, CRJS, and membership. And additional questions can just go to CRSJ at AmericanBar.org. And then I think probably Alli can add more details to how to access the various things.
Definitely. You can go ahead and join by navigating directly to this link, or you can do ambar.org/join CRSJ. This membership page really outlines some of the highlights that Jerry has explained on this webinar. So.
Great. Well, if we don't have any questions, we'll give you back some time, but please don't hesitate to reach out at CRSJ or to me directly at paula.shapiro@americanbot.org. We hope you consider joining us, and we'll look forward to hearing from you and working with you. Hope you have a great rest of your afternoon.